Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, I know, but we're going to be looking to get more regular content out there on a weekly basis in order to help you guys and to share a bit of my own running journey. This week, really simple, no gimmicks, we're just going to get straight into it. I want to help you guys to be able to increase your mileage without running into common issues such as overuse, injuries and getting burnt out. Started a new program about 7 weeks ago. It's been going great, really successful, and I've been learning a lot of new things that I want to share with you guys. Anyone who followed me last year when I was trying to run that sub 25k, you'd know that I got injured quite quickly when trying to increase my mileage. Because of that, I've always been very hesitant to start adding in extra running sessions or extending my existing running sessions because I'm so scared of getting injured. This led me to being limited to about 2 runs a week with an additional kind of circuit high rocks workout in there. So we were looking at 2 or 3 workouts per week, and that's all that I could really manage with my knee. And I was really maxing out with about 20 to 25 kilometers per week of running, which really isn't a lot if you've been running for a while. However, over the past 7 weeks, I started this training block with 40 kilometers per week, and last week I hit 47 kilometers per week, with this week hoping to hit 50, and we'll be climbing up to 55 kilometers per week. There's a very important variable which has allowed me to do this successfully without getting injured. In the past, what I was trying to do was maintain my training intensity and increase the mileage. The issue with this is that you're maintaining high stress or even increasing the stress of your workouts, specifically if you're progressing towards a goal, and then also additionally on top of that adding in extra mileage. So we've got double the stress, and if your body is not used to this, it will break down quite quickly. There's one very obvious way on how to get around this, and you have to bear with me. I know some of you are going to be like, really? That sounds a bit boring, but honestly, it works, and the 6 weeks will fly by, and you're only going to benefit in the long run. So what you have to do is dedicate yourself over 6 weeks to just increasing your mileage. That is your goal. Your workouts need to take a back seat and come second to your increase in mileage. The increase in mileage is going to be your stressor. We don't need to add in intervals, threshold, tempo workouts. We're going to go through a 6-week foundation block where our focus is going to be increasing our mileage. Our runs are going to be very similar. They're all going to be at a comfortable, easy pace, and we're going to throw in some fast, relaxed strides. The best place to start is to look back over your training and choose a 4 to 6 week block that featured your highest mileage. So say it's a 4-week block where you've ran 160 kilometers over those 4 weeks, divide that by 4, you've got 40 kilometers per week as your starting point. If that was 120 kilometers, you then have 30 kilometers as your starting point. You're going to take that previous 4-week mileage peak and use it as your starting point. Yes, it's stressful enough in itself. However, whether you're running 2, 3, 4 times a week, the runs are all going to be very similar in nature. They're going to be low stress, easy runs. And then over the 6 weeks, we're going to look to build your mileage up. For me personally, this was starting at 40 kilometers per week. And over the 6 weeks, I slowly increased to 47 kilometers per week. And you might think, Chris, big deal, you increased by 7 kilometers per week. But you have to remember, my starting mileage was already my previous peak mileage from my previous training block. So I was starting at a point that was already my highest, and I've managed to climb higher. And all of a sudden, rather than running 20-25k per week last year, I'm up to 47, 50 kilometers per week as of this week. We've doubled that mileage without getting injured. My legs feel great. It might sound really simple, really straightforward, a bit boring, but it works. You have to trust that the increase in mileage is stress enough for your body to adapt, to build a solid foundation to help you get closer to your goals over a longer period of time. You need to give your body time to adjust to the new stress of an increase in mileage before you start adding back in intervals, tempo runs, your thresholds. There is one more key factor in this, and that is your strides. So a stride is a sub-maximal sprint. It is not an all-out sprint. We want to keep them fast and relaxed. Typically for anyone, this could be your 1K PB pace, your 1 mile PB pace. For me, I've ran a kilometer before in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I have ran a mile at 5:30, which is about 3:20 something per kilometer pace. So I chose to set my strides at 3:20 per kilometer. And these are going to be 100-meter bursts at a time. If you've got a 10K run planned, you could run 9K easy at 70% heart rate and then do 10 by 100-meter reps at your stride pace. For me, 3:20 per kilometer. Take tons of rest, keep them relaxed, keep them fast, keep them easy. We don't want to stress ourselves. This is key. So you've done your 9K easy run, you've got your 10 by 100 meters in there, so we're up to 10K for the session. I personally didn't do this. What I prefer to do is to add in a stride at the end of every kilometer that I run. So I will run 900 meters easy, I will hit lap, and I will just send it for the last 100 meters, nice and relaxed, into my stride. It's over before you know it, and I'll settle straight back into the next kilometer at my easy pace, and I would get 10 reps in over 10 kilometers. Why this is very effective is because if you're running 40K per week, and if you're doing a stride per every kilometer that you run, you've accumulated 40 strides at a very fast but relaxed pace, so we're not stressing ourselves. There's plenty of recovery, especially if you do it how I did. You're going to get about 5 minutes between each stride. And that will add to 4 kilometers of fast running over an easy week, and you won't even notice it. So as I said, the ultimate goal would be to run 1 stride for every kilometer that you have ran. So we've ran 40K this week, we're going to do 40 strides. This may not be sustainable if you're not used to doing strides. So what I would recommend is maybe aiming for 20 strides then. You could do 10 strides during your first 10K of the week. Your second 10K, you might do a stride every other kilometer. So we're going to get 5 in there. Then we've got our 5K, we'll do 5 strides there. So there we got it. We've got 20 strides, and then to give yourself time to adjust to your long run on a Sunday, just focus on getting through that first and build your ability to get comfortable in those longer runs. Then over the weeks, as you adjust to strides, you can try and increase the frequency of them and try and get up towards that 40 strides per week over 40 kilometers. Personally, I don't think I ever got quite as high as the 1-to-1 ratio for strides and kilometers. I think I got up to about 80% of my mileage. I just didn't really want to add them in. I just didn't feel completely comfortable adding them in for every kilometer on my long runs. So typically I would have done them every other kilometer. So, kilometer 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, for example. It's been a very successful method for me. It's the most I've ever ran over the past 6 weeks. The mileage is still growing. We've now started the second block. I've got some intervals coming in, and I feel fantastic. If you guys need any help with programming or coaching, be sure to check out my Patreon. I'll link it down in the description, or go over to my Instagram. I will also link it. Drop me a DM, tell me who you are, say that you saw the YouTube video and that you're looking a bit of help, and we could discuss through putting you on a structured program that's tailored for you in order to help you achieve your goals.